happened to the end of your guitar? It just fell off. And still he plays on. It's fantastic. Good morning, everyone. It looks like a beautiful day stacking up, but it's going to be a little cold. So you're here to warm up. And the way to warm up is just to open up to what's going to be shared here at this service. Are there any people here from another Unity? Okay. Anybody here for the first time? Oh, keep your hand up. We have a gift for you. Yeah. Anybody else here for the first time? Okay. Well, you know, we were just discussing in the group that follows the first service that it's all here in this moment for us to decide to embrace it. The truth that will make us free is right here in this very moment if we decide to embrace it. And when you decide to embrace it, you can hear it and you can do it. So that's what this is all about. You're going to love this talk Syntysche is going to give. She always touches upon those particular challenges that we face every day to discard the truth. So we get an opportunity again to hear how we can apply and embrace this truth that will make us free in the here and now. Look forward to this talk. It's going to be great.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Boulder. Those of you who are here in-house and those of you who are joining us online, we love spending time with you every Sunday. It is the joy of our week, so thank you very much. I've got a few announcements of upcoming events here at Unity of Boulder. Tomorrow night, Norma is going to be leading her annual Samhain celebration. If you look in your handout, it's the thing that looks like it's spelled Sam Hain, but it's an Irish, it's a Gaelic word, it's pronounced Samhain. And this is our celebration and remembrance of those who have passed and moved on from this plane of existence. This is the time of the year when the veil between that world and this world is at its thinnest. So that's why we celebrate it at this time. If you would like to attend, please bring an item that we can burn in our burning bowl to send a message on its way to your loved one or your friend who's passed. So that's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. It'll be right over here in Fellowship Hall. You don't have to sign up for it. Just show right on up. Our choir, our holiday seasonal choir, is up and running right now. We are still happily accepting and inviting anyone who'd like to join, who's never done it before, who's done it in the past. You don't have to be some world-accredited singer. Anyone. If you've ever sung in the shower, thought you sounded okay-ish, perfect. Come on in. All you have to do for that is show up on Thursdays at 6:30. And Norma will get you put in the right spot in the choir, and she will help you sound amazing, and you get to meet all the other people in the choir, make friends and community. So please come check that out. It's a great time. Everyone always loves it. And also this week, Norma will be leading her Sacred Feminine Circle. This is her women's group that meets every other Thursday at noon, right? And it meets right in the bookstore. You don't have to sign up for this one either. You can just show right on up. And it's just calling all women to come and hang out with Norma. Now I'd like to have a good friend of ours, Andy Lennox, come on out here. He has graciously decided to helm our Thanksgiving potluck meal that we have every year, which is a big deal and a big job. Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, Mike. How do you like my Halloween costume? I'm a sane human being, just for the day, though. I think I first did the Thanksgiving celebration here about 10 years ago, and I had no idea what I was getting into. Not just the amount of work, but the amount of absolute joy, and seeing 100 people show up and the smiles on their faces and all of us just expressing gratitude. It was one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. And I did it for about 5 years, and then I went traveling for a little while, and I got recycled, and I did it again last year with my wife Joan, and it was wonderful. People just came out of the woodwork. I had volunteers coming at the end just to help clean up. So I encourage you all to get involved one way or another. join us for the meal. The meal is wonderful. We supply turkeys and gravy and potatoes, and then it's a potluck, and there are just a ton of desserts. But join us just for the true spirit of Thanksgiving. You feel that gratitude just flowing through you, and these are the days where we really have to concentrate on what's positive in life. There's just so much negative that we see. I can't wait for the election to be over so that the airwaves are not flooded with political nonsense anymore. But we have a tradition in there where 100 of us gather and we hold hands, and since each one of us can't say what we're grateful for, we do it all at once. So imagine 100 people just yelling out, I am grateful for blah, 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 blah. And the energy, the roof actually lifts a couple of inches when that happens. But we're asking for volunteers to help set up and to help cook, to help decorate. We're asking for donations of food or cash if you want to throw some cash in. And we're asking for your presence. Join us, and I guarantee you that you will have one of the most rewarding Thanksgiving celebrations that you've ever had. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Henry. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I'd like to welcome today's musical guest back to our stage. Fantastic to have you as always, Rebecca. So, Rebecca Abraxas.
Tears coming down more than I thought they would. Thought I could make a change without feeling the pain. There's nothing left to do except let go of being so good. Let go of the shame of this ugly chain. Let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. I gotta feel the pain deep in my bones and in my soul. Yeah. Let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. My mirror shows me more than I want to see. Now I can't stop wondering which scars came first. I want to answer questions I haven't yet asked, and see which of my shadows has the biggest thirst. Let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. I gotta feel rain deep in my bones and in my soul. Yeah. Let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. There's nothing to worry about 'cause life puts it all in place. It's like a big game. I have seen what trying too hard can do. Put you in a bad mood. So let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. Gotta feel the rain deep in my bones and in my soul. Let the rain come down. Let the rain come down. Ooh.
Am I on now? Oh, there I am. Okay, I'm here. Nice to see you all here today. So today, my talk title is Understanding is a Spiritual Birth. The revelation of truth to the consciousness of a person is spiritual understanding. So often in life, we're facing challenges and ups and downs, and I've had a thick one myself this week. I keep talking about my teenager, and I need to just say positive things because I got to get that better. It's been a drag, to be totally honest. Just that wild spirit. They're just so wild, and it's just so hard to get in, and just so much mulling over this beautiful child that God gave me, and I guess I have to just really put him in God's hands. That's the thing. We really, when it gets down to it, when we get into those places where you just can't really figure out how to overcome something energetically, we have to just start to really work with our faith and put it in God's hands. This is God's child first, not my child first. I'm the vehicle. I brought this child into this world, and he's a wonderful kid. He really is a great kid, but our bond is so tight, so that I think he has to get that independence, to eventually go and be a wonderful man in this world. And so that's hard on a mom. They say that the last love for a mother is that love of their son. Like, there's never a man that you love like your boy, and I only have that one boy, and I definitely have sucked that love out of it, and so I have to stop leaning on that mirror. It's tough. It's really tough to stand on your own 2 feet and let your kids become independent and become who they're meant to be. So I always write my talks for myself, right? It's the only way I can really speak to what's really in my heart. So I hope that it resonates for those of you that are here today. So this is some writing from Lessons in Truth, one of the greatest Unity books, written by Emily Cady. And she writes this: You may say to yourself, or another may say silently to you, over and over again, that you are well and wise and happy. On the mental plane, a certain cure is effected, and for a time you will feel well and wise and happy. This is simply a form of hypnotism and a mind cure. But until down in the depth of your being, you are conscious of your oneness with the Creator, until you know within yourself that the spring of all life, wisdom and health and joy is within your own being, ready at any moment to leap forth at the call of your need. You will not have spiritual understanding until you recognize that it's in you. So no matter how much affirmation someone says to us to try to build us up when we're feeling down, that's helpful, and it's nice to get a hug when we're scrappling around with different things that are going on. But really, in the end, it's always a growing process. There's something that's growing us, and it's deepening us to become closer and closer with our relationship with the Creator, right? Nobody can do it for us. So I thought I'd ask you to bring to mind today an area in your life that is troubling you, or it's kind of in the way of your good in a way. It could be a relationship, it could be a financial moment, it could be a health and wholeness issue. And I want to ask you, when you bring this into your mind's eye, if you are open today, not tomorrow, but today, to totally and completely heal this. I am ready. I've been with Josh Groban all morning. He's been serenading me. You are loved. I just keep playing that. You are loved. You are. Syntysche, you are loved. You're loved. You're loved. You're loved. Right? We have to find that music that encourages us and reminds us of the depth and the beauty and where we've come from and how amazing we are here and this wisdom that we have. So are you ready today to come into that wholeness, into that homeostasis, into that presence, into that peace that we find when we're deeply rooted and connected with this greater power, this greater love we call God, Source, Spirit, whatever word makes you feel deeply connected to this energy, right? See, it's very important for us to look at this because One of the keys to overcoming and shifting any discomfort or discord in life is to realize that sometimes we hang on to our troubles and our stories because somehow it comforts us. Somehow it excuses outer behaviors that really don't serve humanity or our families or whatever. You know, we have an excuse for complaining about the difficulty of our life, and somehow we might have gotten locked in the channel, and it's this channel that stays in this lower frequency of complaining about what is not working instead of living in a place from where everything is working, like where everything's working out for you. Oh, all my good is here, all the greatness is here. And look through the lens of that part of your life and watch how all these things heal. When we heighten our vibration, we focus on what is wonderful, what is beautiful, what is graceful, what is gorgeous, right? So we have to recognize that sometimes subconsciously we are holding on to the story that's limited and it's keeping us living small. And we're wondering why our good feels like it's leaving us, and it keeps leaving us, and it keeps leaving us, and it always comes back to here. It always comes back to the truth of our being. Are you ready to heal? Truly. Are you ready to become this vast vibrational being that God put you here to be? That's not filled with troubles. That woe isn't your teacher anymore, but you're in your divine wisdom. And it guides and directs everything that you do. And if it doesn't fit in your world anymore because it's from a lower frequency, you've got to make changes. You've got to let things fall away that no longer serves that joy and that peace and that beauty. So I wanted to share a clip with you right now. And for you on live stream, it's copywritten, so you're just going to have to take a break from the service for 3 minutes. And it's a show from Amazon Prime, and it's called The Chosen. And it's a clip from one of those shows. Okay. It was only majorly important to the sermon, but that's okay. I can flow. Well, in this clip, it is the story of Jesus and his walk in this world, and it's beautifully done, and I would really highly recommend it. The acting is gorgeous. But it's the whole story in John 5:6 through 5:8, where there's a paralytic who's been laying by the pool that is supposed to heal him, and people keep going ahead of him, and he just lays there and he just can't seem to get his act together to get to the water. Somebody always gets in the way. Something's in the way, and it's this big victim story. Really is about us, because all these stories are about us. They're metaphorical about our human experience, where if he thinks if he can get in the water, that he will now be able to walk. And he's been laying there for over 30 years with these problems, and nobody seems to be helping him, and he thinks it's because nobody's helping him. So he stands in this position of, nobody will get me into the water when it's stirred, when it's in this spiritual moment where the angels have evoked this water that's ready to heal his body. They all get, so it's this kind of a complaining process. And when Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had already been there a long time, he said to him, "Do you want to be healed?" Which seemed like a pretty silly question, considering somebody laying there in poverty and not being able to move and take care of themselves. And the sick man answered Jesus, "Sir, I have no one to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up. And while I am going, another steps down before me." Jesus said again to him, "Do you want to be healed?" And he shook his head and he said, "Yes." And he said, "Get up, take your mat, and walk." And this story, we've all read it and we've all thought about it. But what is that thing that keeps standing in your way for that beautiful healing of the water? Because water represents emotions. right? So that's why a lot of times on my back wall I have water scenes. If you've noticed, I tend to do waterfalls, oceans. Right now I've chosen Hitachi, because that makes me feel warm and squishy. So what are the emotions that are keeping you from getting into the cleansing water of healing? Right? It's all an allegory of what can purify the discord, the story, the things that have unfortunately led us to living small and living in excuses and living as a victim of our pasts. We all have traumas from the past, everybody does, and we can let them, keep us not going after our dreams or manifesting money or finding the love of our life or going after the career we deserve. But today, how many of you said you're ready to heal? Put your hands up. And I'm hoping for those of you that didn't put your hand up that you already are healed. And that's only a few. Most everybody put their arms up. And so you guys don't even worry about it. It's too late now. So I see this dance going on, and you're all fired. I'm just teasing. It's lucky because right before I walked out here, I actually printed out just in case that happened, like the universe told me this was going to happen. When you follow your intuition, you have backup plans all the time. The universe will say, no, it's not meant to be, right? I just printed it just in case, and I needed it, right? So what would you do without this complaint? What would it feel like for you to not have it to talk about anymore? For you to stop saying you have no money, or I don't feel well, or I'm lonely, or nobody loves me, or my job is terrible. These are all really, really bad affirmations that a lot of us we use, and we keep creating more of the thing that we are unhappy about. Because it's a vibration, so it's the law of attraction. So the law of attraction is honorable in the negative as it is in the positive. So when we really check ourselves on what we're saying to the universe, and sometimes we're not saying it out, we're saying it to ourselves, like, nobody loves me, nobody takes care of me, I always seem to be the one that's being kicked by everybody, and I have nobody to kick, or, I don't know. I'm just teasing about that one. Until you know within yourself that the spring of all wisdom and health and joy is within your own being, ready at any moment to leap forth at the call of your need, you will not have spiritual understanding. Spiritual understanding is to know that the universe is honorable. And anywhere it's not feeling honorable in our life, it's been created by the discord within ourselves. And that's hard because we have to take responsibility for ourselves. Some people will say unity is such an easier path to enlightenment because we don't have to get the favor of God. We don't have to bow down and do certain types of prayers and do the rhetoric and all these things. And the truth is that's so not true. Because in your traditional Christian churches, you get to sit there and they're going to tell you what to do. It's a planned thing. And if you do this, then you're going to heaven. And if you do this, you're going to hell. And it's just, okay, it's black and white. And sometimes it's nice just to have it cut right in the middle. Like, okay, that's what I have to do, cool. But when we take on all of the mysteries of our life, all of the phases of our life, all the seasons of our life, all the things we've been through, the marriages, the deaths, the divorces, the children growing up, the levels of things, there's so many cuts that have talked us out of our wholeness, and many of us have gotten to our wisdom and our wholeness, and then every once in a while something still sneaks up to test us, like a trickster. The natives call it a trickster, when it just feels like the path is opening up and everything is flying and it's time and you're about to do the greatest thing that you've dreamt of your whole life, and something puts a little edge in it, right? Something comes up where you could just give up on all of it because something else became more important. At least in your ego, it became more important, or in your fear, it became more important. So you stopped your good, you stopped your flow forward because it distracted you. It was like, is this more important, or is this forward moving more important, right? So, and that trickster is usually something like, somebody's saying they really need you at this point, but you're about to go on a trip around the world, right? I just had this happen in my women's group. For 2 years, this person hasn't gone on this anniversary, special 25th anniversary of the marriage, to go literally to 4 different countries, but somebody kind of third wheel is dying right now. But it wasn't like the child or a sister, or it was somebody that was like somebody's daughter-in-law type of moment. And she's going, I just don't know if I can go. And I'm like, what? That call that she had to, like, it was like her good was just always going to go to her taking care of somebody else instead of taking care of herself. And we had to have a deep conversation, and this person left on their trip. And so it's that type of thing, right? You're in a really, really good relationship, but then they just show you one little thing, you're like, I'm out, because that was just like that other guy that I was with, or the girl, right? And we don't give them a chance for us to realize that we've expanded from that limited little experience. So we go, red flag, run. Right, because that's the pain body. That's when the pain body's in control of our life experience, okay? So there comes a time when we are ready to heal. And there's many phases where we come to terms with certain areas of our life where we're ready to heal. And what healing means is being in balance. That you have joy every day, multiple times a day. You walk in peace. Your life is peaceful. When things are in a vibration that don't fit in your higher vibration, you walk away from it. You're not here to save everybody in every situation. You're here to hold the stature of the Christ consciousness as you in expression. How can we get this love and this light out in this world if we can't really hone it for ourselves? Then it's useless. If we're still grappling with these lower self-esteem issues that take our power away. When we commit to our healing, there's a softening that happens. We go slower. We pace ourselves in a way that we can really be present to our life experience and its unfoldment. See where the rockiness is. Work with that rockiness and see where we can smooth it out, where we can flow more, where we can lean into the Creator, into God, bringing that forth more and watch how things smooth out. Not being reactive to every wrong of the world, right? I'm sure many of you saw this terrible tragedy that happened in Seoul, South Korea over the weekend. I mean, what is just a terrible thing. And it's just, I send my heart and prayers out to these young people that lost their lives and their families that are facing that loss. Once again, I've learned to not turn on the news because I turned it on for like a second. I didn't even mean to. I was actually trying to get to Netflix. You know, so you're waiting forever for it to turn on, and I got like, what's happening? So to put as much of the positive energy into our consciousness at all times keeps us centered and moving forward towards the goals and the dreams and the life that we deserve, that God has actually unfolded before us already knows what we need before we even ask, but we're actually stepping into it because we want to be healed. In the Prosperity Secrets of the Ages, Catherine Ponder says, a decree is a declaration or affirmation of truth. In speaking these decrees, you are not trying to make something true. You speak them because they are true, right? Okay, let's sit with that. A decree is a declaration or affirmation of truth. In speaking these decrees, you are not trying to make something true. You speak them because they are true. This action will work wonders within you and will change your life in delightful ways. So this keeps us from talking about things that are not needed, wanted, or necessary, right? My dad would always say that when I'm facing a challenge physically or mentally or spiritually. He says you just, every time it comes up in your mind, you're like worried about a health thing or you're worried about your kid, you just say not needed, not wanted, not necessary. You're changing the script that the brain tends to do to keep talking us out of our good, right? And then you declare something. I am prosperous. I am loved. I am love. I am the embodiment of Christ's light. I am joyful. I am free. I am happy. I am healed. So we have to find a way to distract that motion that goes into negativity, not wanted, not necessary, not needed, and I am free. I am a great mother. My son's a great kid. Right? Do you see what I'm saying? So you change that rut that we get in, and we want to keep complaining about all the things, and all we're going to do is attract more things to complain about, right? So you can say things like, I am so grateful everything is well in my marriage. I can write you affirmations. Affirmations are very easy to me. I use them all the time. I've always got different ones. I got pieces of paper on my dashboard of the car, and they're there for a reason, right? I decree I am so full of love. I decree that I'm so full of health. I decree that I'm so, you fill in whatever would be the resolve of the thing you walked in on your heart right now that is not in balance. That's imbalanced, right? You think that you want better health, more love, a brighter, more cheerful home, all of your very own. In short, you want less difficulty and more good in your life. You want less difficulty and more good in your life. And this is only God pushing at the inner door of your being as if he or she were saying, my child, let me in. You're trying to do this all on your own, and it was never meant to be that way. That's why you feel like you're fragmented. That's why you feel like you're broken. That's why you feel like you don't have a vision of future. That's why you feel like you don't have any money. That's why because you're trying to go it alone, and you're not alone. You are whole. You are made in the image and likeness of God as a perfect child. No matter what mistake you've made, you are forgiven as long as you can forgive yourselves. Stop harboring the brokenness and harbor the beauty. Harbor that beauty. See that beauty. Look at where you've come from and what you've become. And celebrate that in your soul. In Isaiah 65:13 through 14:21, my servants shall eat. I wish it really said my children shall eat. My children shall drink, my children shall rejoice, my children shall sing for gladness of heart. They shall build houses and inhabit them. This is the goal. This is the happiness. You deserve it. You don't have to prove it to God. God already loves you before you've even accepted this loving energy into your experience because it's in you as you. You are the seed of that love. You're born as that seed in expression. Desire in the heart for anything is God's sure promise sent beforehand to indicate that it is yours already in the limitless realm of supply. So there's a few things we have to look at. First of all, we have to look at our worthiness. Do you believe you're worthy of this life that you dream within your heart? Do you have faith in this greater power that's saying you should have all of these things and have them abundantly if you go to the Spirit, if you go to the higher consciousness? That's what Jesus said. You can do it as long as you go to the higher consciousness. You will unfold the life you've always dreamt of. And if it's not that life, it will be better because maybe you can't even see as good of the life that you deserve. How many people feel that way? Isn't it hard to really see this grand life when you think about all the things of the world that are talking us out of our good because it's so freaking dark right now? So if we want to just walk around as dark entities through this shadow of darkness that's happening on the planet right now, then how are we going to heal it? For the greater whole, how do we collectively heal it until we heal it here in ourselves and express it to every person that we come in contact with? That love, everybody wants to be seen and heard and known and loved. And it doesn't have to be from your complaints. Have you ever noticed that when we say, how are you, when it's a good friend or someone close to us, we tend to start with our lacks. Because there's something in us that we sort of feel like it's egoic to say how great things are to people. We kind of like lower ourselves so we don't make them feel bad that our life is actually really rocking it. Have you noticed that? We do. We lead with our pains. We lead with our brokenness because we can all meet in a common ground there. Well, it's time for us to meet in the common ground of joy, abundance, beauty, and as we have it, share it. We're here to take care of one another, bringing to everybody you know with you, right? But worthiness is first on the list. That one will make you or break you, okay? There's no one else who is as hard on you as you are. Take that in. There is no one else who is as hard on you as you are. There is no one else who is as hard on you as you are. Like your brothers and sisters, you suffer from a basic sense of inadequacy and unworthiness. The unresolved issues of self-worth are the conditions of your embodiment. In other words, you are here to work them out. You are here to heal. Our motto on our sign at one point was Unity, a place to heal. It is the truth. This path will lead you to healing and wholeness and so much more. This is a jumping off place for so much more if you're ready today to give up the story, to give up our parents' stories and the things that were given to us, right? The unresolved issues of self-worth are the conditions of your embodiment. In other words, you're here to work them out. Seeking someone special to provide the love your parents weren't able to provide will never work. Looking for unconditional love in a world of conditions must inevitably fail. If you do not take responsibility for bringing love to your own wounds, you will not move out of your present situation. There is no way out of the circle of blame but to stop blaming. Love is the only response that undoes fear, because fear is the absence of love. It therefore cannot exist whenever love is present. We have to ask ourselves, what does it mean to love ourselves the way God loves us? Andy Lennox gave me that one on Friday, and I needed that a lot. Like, he was in my office, and he said, we just have to ask ourselves what it means to love ourselves the way God loves us. And I started crying because I was in the deep of my son. You know, your little angels, when you're in unity, the right person appears when you need it, right? I'm no different than you. I struggle with this myself, but I live my life studying this. I love living my life studying this. And when you do start to study and you read these books every day, start your day reading this food, read these seeds of love and life, you will find so much more joy, so much more to be reverent about, to be excited about, right? And when I talk about prosperity, this is kind of a prosperity talk. It's about worthiness, it's about wholeness, it's about homeostasis, it's about bringing joy back to a fearful world, right? Miracles are demonstrations of the divine mind in action within your mind and experiences. Miracles are needed as teaching devices, just as they were 2,000 years ago. Every miracle is a demonstration of the fact that love is stronger than fear. When you ask for help, you acknowledge that there is a power that is greater than your fear. You also indicate your desire to work with that power to move out of fear and conflict in your life. I want to move out of fear and out of conflict. Who wants to move out of fear and conflict? Yes, absolutely. So, one of the ways we do that is to say to the universe, I do not depend upon persons or conditions for my prosperity. I bless persons as channels of my prosperity, but God is the source and center of my life and my supply. I am the rich child of a loving creator, so I dare to prosper now. These are the type of decrees we have to put out there. And prosperity, this could be money, but it's not about that. Metaphysical meaning of prosperity, which is the Metaphysical Bibles written by Charles Fillmore, and he breaks down the words of the Bible and what it says about prosperity. This is what prosperity actually is, if you want to look through the lens of unity. The difference between spiritual prosperity and the material idea of prosperity is that spiritual prosperity is founded on the understanding of the inexhaustible, omnipresent substance of spirit as the source of supply. The material idea is that the possession of things constitutes prosperity. The material idea is things. Do you see this? The metaphysical is wholeness. It's a flow of everything. Mind, body, spirit, wholeness, flowing. It's just, you're forward moving and you're not stagnant and you're not drowning in some mud because this is holding you from this thing that you want and this thing you want and you just can't move because this thing's holding you hostage. It's floating. It's freeing. It's enlivening. It's yours to have for the taking. But do you believe that there's something greater that can actually heal things that people have told you you can't? Because if we're going to put more faith in the people outside of us, then you're never going to find the Creator within you that exists as you when you step in and say, I am ready. I am ready to heal. I am ready to love unconditionally. I am ready to be the greatest version that God created me to be. So we have to dissolve in our mind, in the minds of all others, any idea that my own can be withheld from me. My own cannot be withheld from me. As long as I can step in, it's all there. The abundance is swirling around us all the time. It's just, are you willing to step into it? Are you willing to step in, and are you willing to put feet underneath your actions and your words? Right? When you ask for help, recognize that you are asking that your thoughts be changed. So you affirm this. Creator, I am willing to change my mind about the situation. Please help me see this, not through the eyes of fear, but as you see it. Help me see this with equal love for myself and all others. This, my children, is the power of prayer. Stay with it. Rest in its strength and its peace. And let God answer you in every word, every gesture, and every action. You cannot experience the miracle unless you're willing to receive it. This is another really important part. When you're feeling trepidation because you have a new job and it's like everything you ever wanted and all of a sudden we're just trying to find what's wrong with it because it just all seems too good. Okay, this is you doing that, okay? This is where we are stepping out and we're afraid because we're still working from the pain body. The universe is giving you exactly what you need and you want. But when we get into it, we're bringing the old belief system with us and we're breaking it all apart and we're making it bad and we're making it like it was. See, it's only going to be great if you are great. That new relationship is only going to be great if you are great. You have to come in as the Christ example, ready for a new experience. To see it through a childlike wonder where you're psyched, you're stoked about what is about to happen, and then let the universe just blow your freaking minds. Are you ready to have your minds blown? Paul Farini, that's spelled wrong. Again, Steve, you're fired. I mean, what are we going to do? How are you going to keep this? No, I'm just kidding. You're supposed to edit me. I'm the one that types them. So, Paul Farini, a lot of what I've been reading is from his book, Silence of the Heart. To experience the miracle, the following factors must be present. You must know that you need it. You must ask for it sincerely. You must be willing to receive it. And as it comes, be grateful. Gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. You see that this job has come in, or this beautiful woman or beautiful man has come into your life, and you can feel that it's so holy and it's so amazing, and you know it's got sparkles around it. You know, have you ever had that experience where you've been around a person there's actually like sparkles around their head? I used to have it all the time. It depends on what lens I'm looking through. They literally twinkle because there's just a joy. There's just a beauty, there's an aura. Because they carry that Christ potential as them, and in their presence you just feel really good. And like they say, when people say, I don't feel good, it's because you don't feel God. I don't feel good because I don't feel God. I forgot I don't have to do this all by myself. get to allow Spirit to do it through me. And so that just takes all the burden off my shoulders. And I can give it to God and thank God for healing and cleansing these limited belief systems and these things I've kept this beauty from. There comes a time when we have to decide if we are going to give into pain and suffering, trauma and brokenness as our teacher, or recognize the wisdom that you have. Deeply from your meditations, that wisdom, you now direct your life from wisdom. All the information you've collected till now, do you want to do it from your traumas? Do you want to go forward building your life from your traumas, your brokenness, and your unworthiness? Or when you're in your greatest self, your highest frequencied self, become the director of your life. And we can only stay there if we're meditating. We're walking in nature. We're getting silent. And if you don't get an emotional hit to go forward with it, do not. It's a slower life when we work in the divine work, with that divine countenance that is going to unfold a life we could never even dream for ourselves. We have to stay present, and when we lose our place, have rescue remedy, have your aromatherapies. I have so many aromatherapies and rescue remedies. I had a little thing happen before the service that totally pulled the rug out from underneath me. I ran to my office, I did all my oils, and I did the rescue remedy, and I was back. It took me about 5 minutes. I mean, when you want to stay in your high consciousness, then you have to take to task your own understanding and your wisdom. Are you worth it to own all these things I just said? Because they are kind of expensive, but have them. Probably a lot cheaper than psychotropic drugs, so, you know. And we carry them all in the bookstore, so I'll show you where all the things on my little toolkit that I use. I use it in my women's book group. I pass them all around so we can leave the world outside so we can really go there as in our sisterhood, right? So I'm just going to speak a few minutes on this. Around this time of year, Mike was talking about how the legend has it that the veil between the ethereal realm and the physical realm is very thin. And this is really, really, really true. When you are a meditating person or you've lost people close to you, I lost a very good friend of mine 2 years ago. I've lost a child in my life. I feel that direct connection during this phase from like August to right around now, it gets thinner and thinner, and I just feel these divine downloads, and it's like ancestral. It's like something's there, just giving information and helping and guiding and directing, and I really implore you to be with that for the next 2 days, because this is when it is. This is really when it is. It's very exciting. If you feel like you'd like to talk to a parent that you haven't talked to, that have crossed over, put that out, decree that to the universe, and open up to the study of the fact that we never die. This physical body dies, but our emotional and spiritual and soul does not die. And we have direct connection with these people at all times, but especially right now. And I would highly recommend you going to the Samhain on tomorrow night at 7. It's a beautiful ceremony. If you want to burn something, we've had situations where she's done it, the Samhain ceremony, and afterwards we'll take a picture of the room, and it's just filled with thousands after this ceremony. It is really neat. And so if you're in the mood and you're just like, I miss this person, I want to have a connection. I have so many testimonies of people saying that they had an absolute experience with their loved ones. So I highly encourage that. But the other thing that's thin right now, because we're so close to the ethereal realm, because it's thinned right now, we also are in contact with the Akashic records, which many people have to meditate and meditate and meditate to finally access their file in the Akashic records. And if you don't know what the Akashic records is, it's called the Book of Life. And there is an actual file on every soul and every journey that they've ever been in. And it's actually been put into a safe place in the ethereal realm where we can access memories about what happened before so that we can actually grab some of the stuff that we learned before so we don't have to keep skinning our knees this time. We can grab that wholeness, that knowingness, that something that we grew to, bring that in, or also find out why you're having maybe a trouble still. That it might not be about this lifetime, it might be another one. accessing through meditation, opening up, saying, I want to connect with my record right now, my Akashic records. So these records are so complete and so accurate. This is written about Edgar Cayce's work, which is the most documented psychic. And so individualized, a logical question might be, just what is the purpose, though, of the Akashic records in the first place? Simply put, the answer has to do with keeping track of and assisting with each soul's personal growth and transformation. However, in order to adequately discuss and understand Cayce's perception of these records, one needs to possess an adequate background in what might be termed the Edgar Cayce cosmology. Now take these words in. This is what he says it's for. God is essentially love, and the universe is completely orderly. All right, let's just take that first line in. God is essentially love, and the universe is completely orderly. Who believes from their experience right now that the universe is orderly? Let's see some hands. Okay, we're lacking some. Beyond that concept is the premise that each individual was purposely created as a soul to become a companion with the Creator. You were purposely created. God spent a little bit more time on each one of you for certain reasons. There's something so uniquely special and amazing and important in each one of you. Not some of you, all of you. And your only job here is to find that incredible impressiveness that Spirit gave you. So if it's not orderly, then we'll be working within the terms of God consciousness, Christ consciousness, Spirit's consciousness in us. If we keep hitting a void, or we keep hitting a fall, or we keep breaking down and something, that's trauma. That's our own experience. That's the subconscious talking us out of our good, because it's supposed to be orderly, even when things are falling away. Because things fall away to make room for our good to come. Things fall away for our good to come, right? Beyond that concept is the premise that each individual was purposely created. Leave here with that. You are important. You are loved. I see each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you, and I love myself too. And I want us to go out there as the beacons of this light for this world. That's what gives me hope for the future, is that my work will impress on you what's impressing on me, and we just keep doing this with each other as we heal the planet, the society, this world, and ourselves together. We're going to go into a singing meditation now.
Yeah, I felt a little bit the way you just did. You don't know if you should clap and break the feeling. We really love that feeling. More love, more kindness, more peace in our lives. That's what we're here to create and promote. And regardless of appearances, that is what will prevail. Everyone here will see it prevail. So we're in for a beautiful awakening, because we are going to see beyond the appearances that are in denial, more love, more peace, and more kindness. And isn't it amazing that we can come here and Syntysche can share, open herself up, and just allow the truth to come through her so powerfully that we can take it with us and make it come through us so powerfully. So we've, generously received. Now it's time for us to generously give to support this particular center so we can continue to do the work that we're doing. And those of you that are watching this live stream, you can tithe in any one of these ways, and I suggest that you do. Not only will you feel good in doing it, you'll have an experience that will reveal to you that it is, in fact, in giving that we receive on every level. So with that in mind, let's bring to our thoughts that particular financial gift we'd like to make to Unity of Boulder. Let's bless it with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. And we have Rebecca Abraxas to share her amazing music once again.
Bom biddy bom bom biddy 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 bom biddy bom bom biddy. There's a time when I walk into another's life and we share the light, until we hear spirit say, guiding you on another way. Walk away, walk away, walk away, walk away into the light, into the sunshine, going into the light, into the sunshine, into the light. Walk away, walk away. My rose-colored glasses have gotten unclear, but when I shed my fear, the energy finds me and I start to clearly see. Walk away. The energy is shifted, I'm trying hard to stay. The anchor isn't lifted, oh, the current is too strong. I'm being pulled along. Walk away, walk away, walk away, walk away into the light, into the sunshine, going into the light, into the sunshine, into the light. Walk away. And I feel, and I feel, and I feel, but I know, I've got to follow the light. walk away, yeah, yeah. Walk away, yeah, yeah. Into the sunshine, going into the light, into the sunshine, into the light. Walk away, walk away. Feels good to go. The air is lighter, my spirit is brighter, and the sun shines on my doorstep. Walk away, walk away, walk away, walk away to the light. Walk away, walk away.
All right, well, I want to let you know, we forgot to announce that the haunted house is open downstairs for all of you that have childlike wonder still in you, want to see what our great YOUers built last weekend. You can go downstairs right now and experience what they did for our community, which we had over 65 kids appear to our house. It was huge last night. I mean, it's such a good time. I want to thank all the volunteers that helped us run it. It was an amazing outreach. So support them because they're down there all dressed up. So please go down there and go through that haunted house. It just makes their day because it's so much work. So then they're going to take it all down today. So we just want to make it all worth it, all that work. And if you have a prayer need today, you can just stay seated in your seat. And one of our beautiful prayer partners with the white sashes on will come and find you and they'll pray with you either in the sanctuary or down in our meditation room. We always have a minister's circle after the service, and I will be running it at the back of the sanctuary today in about 10 minutes. So if you want to discuss the talk, we can discuss it back there. And did you want to say something?
I want to say, to remind you, there's only going to be one service on November 13th, that Sunday, at 11 o'clock. I will be speaking at that service. Following that service, there will be a book signing and a lunch in Fellowship Hall. And we'll have the opportunity to share together in what I believe will be an awakening. Something you have never heard me say as a poet.
Oh my. Yikes. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. All right, we're going to stand up and we're going to close more in a prayerful way today, singing Finlandia. Just this planet and this world needs this love. So here we go.
This is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands afar and wide. This is my home, the country where my heart beats. This is my home, my dreams, my shrine. But other hearts in other lands are beating with hopes and dreams the same as mine. Big amen.
And we're going to go right into I Release.
I read and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit.
refreshments, and we'll meet in the back in about 10 minutes.